check, 1, 2.
Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need, get over the fear, and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello everybody, Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for listening in. Today I have podcast number 191. 9 more than 200. It's just, to me, it just feels good. Today we have 5 questions sent in by real estate investors. And remember, if you have a question, send it to support@michaelquarles.com. That is support@michaelquarles.com. And we'll get you on the your question on the show, and I'll try to answer it. A couple of housekeeping things. You guys know about the Platinum card over at Yellow Letters. That Platinum card saves you 15% on all of your 2016 orders, all your direct mail and business cards and door hangers and flyers and postcards and all kinds of stuff that they have over there. You should take advantage of it. I know that card fee is going to go up very, very soon, so take advantage of it while you can. And the other little bit of business is about the coaching program. If you want to talk about the coaching program, text the word investor to 313131, and it will send you to a platform on your phone that you can fill out, real easy to do, maybe 5 minutes and you're done. And then it'll take you to our site so you can see some more stuff. So it's kind of a cool little platform there. Okay, enough about taking up your time. You wanted to talk about real estate, so we're going to get right into it right now. Question number 1. What is the best way to start the habit of staying focused and accountable to your tasks each day? That's a great question. And I like the idea, the best way to start. And for me, anyway, you start before that day. So rather than just, get up that day and say, I want to do it now. Well, let's take a day and think about why we want to do what we want to do and what impact does it have for us. So we're going to set a big goal. And, what do we want to achieve in that big goal, whatever that is? And quite frankly, I like writing it down on a big old board, like something that people can see. And, write down like the amount of money you want to make. Maybe for some of you, you want a nicer home. Well, get a nice picture of a nice home, go look at one. And, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's getting out of debt, maybe it's, college education fund for the children. Whatever that is, let's put it on a board and look at it. Put it to where in a place that you see it a lot. And don't conceal it from people. Other people need to see it too. Because I know that if you have a secret from your wife or your spouse or your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, whoever they are, if you have a secret, keep a secret from them. Like you don't tell them what you want to accomplish in life. Well, how can they hold you accountable? How can they support you? How can they be involved in your success? How can they, be proud of you? So these things are very, very, very important parts of that starting is writing things down. And so what I did, and so this is just me, just kooky old Michael. I knew I wanted a better house than the one I had. And so I chose to go to a house that was for sale that was, probably the kind of house that I'd want. And I, being a real, broker, have lockbox key kind of stuff, I could make an appointment to go see that house. And I just went and got in bed. I just laid my big old fat head on the nice soft pillow in the bed, in the master bedroom. I didn't get under the sheets or, the covers or anything. I just laid on the bed. I wanted to feel what it would feel like to own this place. What it would feel like to wake up in this home, what it would, what's it going to feel, taste like, those kinds of things. I just wanted embody my, that thought process. And then I I went down and took a car for a drive and, negotiated it out. And I didn't buy it because that's just my goal kind of thing. It was like, okay, I know what I want to do. This is my goal. And your goals aren't they're kind of opposite of spontaneity, right? I guess you could have a goal and just be spontaneous about it. And that's really not a goal. That's just spontaneity. So if you have a goal, you have to kind of plan. So, I took a car for a drive. I figured it all out. I knew what it was going to cost me and negotiated it all. So the day that I was ready to actually achieve that goal, then all the work had been done. So I wanted for myself, I wanted to taste it, feel it, touch it, smell it, all kinds of stuff. So now, once you do that, once you have that board made, and place that board on an easel or pin it to the wall or frame it, wherever it is, it's important. Don't conceal it. Tell people about it. Tell your family, your friends, everybody, your coworkers, your employees, if you have those. This is what you want to do. Tell everybody, okay? Don't be afraid to brag a little bit. I know right now, I can show you a picture of the car that's going to replace my Bentley. It's beautiful. It's pearl white. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's a Ghost Rolls Royce, and I know the price is $406,000. I already know it. I know what it is. I know how it feels. I know what it's going to do for me. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous goal. I absolutely know that. But you know what? It helps me stay focused. I know what I want to accomplish in that arena from that little piece of my life and what it's going to feel like. And that's how we kind of do it. So now on a daily basis, you're going to get up and you're going to write down what you want to accomplish today in the 6 areas of your life. In the 6 areas of your life, you're going to write down what you want to accomplish today. Make them they're short goals. They're today's goals. But they're leading you down that path of that nicer home, that nicer car, that college fund, that paying the bills off thing. But every day you're going to write down some goals. It's a checklist. It's a honey-do list, but you're the honey. Your own honey. It's your own honey-do list. So, and then you're just going to accomplish those goals and just don't let them interfere with one another. So don't let one goal, if I want to spend time with my family tonight, interfere with the other goal, hey, I want to play cards with my buddies tonight. Well, unless your buddies are your family, then that won't work. That would be interfering. So make sure that your goals don't contradict each other, and the things that you want to try to accomplish, they don't contradict each other. But yeah, write them down. How do you stay focused? Write them down every day. Beat yourself up if you don't accomplish tomorrow what you said yesterday that you would. So you're going to go back now, you're going to have this day that, you wrote down these things to do, and tomorrow's going to arrive, and you're going to look back at yesterday's list, and did I get yesterday's list done as you start writing today's goals? And if you have to continually keep putting and adding on to what you didn't accomplish yesterday, well, shame on you. You're setting yourself up for mental failure. You're setting yourself up for, doubt, and that's going to work its way in. And all of a sudden, you're going to give up because, you can't accomplish anything. And you're telling yourself that. We don't want to tell ourselves that. So make sure when we do this and we start seeing a tendency of, I'm not accomplishing what I told myself I did want to accomplish. Well, let's back away from our goal and let's really look back at our goal and say, hey, why did I write it down in the first place? Did I really want to do it? Or is it just something I wrote down? Okay? And, if it's just something that you wrote down, or maybe your habits, and you're trying to change a habit, but your habit is suffocating you so much that it's very hard to get out of that habit. Well, that takes baby steps. If it's eating habit and you have to maybe eat less, and that's the goal is, well, although I hate the word less, because it's a negative word, but just, count your food out. That's all you're going to do. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake, okay? I'm not beating you up on that one. Don't beat yourself up on a mistake. Don't beat yourself up for trying to accomplish, getting almost all the way there, but not getting there. That triple in baseball is really nice because there's someone coming up to hit the guy on third home. So, that triple's much better than that first base hit. So, man, if you get close, it's okay. The next day you can hit yourself home with your goal. Don't beat yourself up, but don't continue to put down that same thing over and over and over again. If you do, give me a phone call, set some time with me, and let's talk about why you're struggling on setting the most basic goals in your life. Because I absolutely know this one. If you don't set a goal in your life that you can do for 21 days, it won't become a habit to you. We need to make what your goals are a habit forming. They need to be so responsible to yourself that you want to do them. I mean, just like, whatever it is that you're doing now that's not giving you the wealth or whatever it is that you want in life, those are habits. We got to get rid of those habits, create new habits, and that's by goal setting. And you just start changing your life. These little bitty baby steps. We've talked about before, getting out of quicksand, and you just can't get in the quicksand and make these rapid movements to get out. It takes these very small movements to get out of quicksand, very small movements. The more rapid movement you have and create, the more you're going to sink. Well, that's how life is. Life is just a quicksand. And you just choose how do you change. So, to recap, to get back to the core of the question, I want you to go out and experience your goal. Go lay in that bed. Go drive that car. Go visit the college campus you want to send your kids to. Go whatever it is. Okay? And then start writing down daily those 6 areas in your life that you're going to do that day. And make those little mini goals important enough and make them based upon the max goal, that you want to achieve. And so, here's a good goal for you guys. And I was just thinking about this. If I wanted to, because I was trying to figure out, if I wanted $1 million, how would I couldn't go to the bank and say, hey, I want to look at $1 million. Can you show me $1 million? No, couldn't do it. Could not do this. How many pieces of paper is $1 million? Well, if it's, dollar bills, it's $1 million bills, right? If it's $10 bills, it's however much that is. If it's $100 bills, that's how much that is. $1,000 bills, and it's 1,000. But what would it feel like to imagine and to hold on to or see a crate of $1 million of just fake money? Tell you what, someone is going to take me up on this one. I am going to send somebody $1 million in fake money. And I want you to, if that's your goal, I want to make $1 million. I am going to send somebody, I'm going to have my yellow letter company, I'm going to have them print and cut $1 million in fake money. So that can be your goal. And I want you to change those fake dollars into real dollars. So I want you to have this big old box of money. Every time you add to your wealth. So let's take this as an example. Say on a daily basis, you say, I'm going to save $50. That's my goal. If I do that for 17 years, I'm going to have $1 million. Whatever the numbers are, okay? So then take your $50, the 50 real dollars that you have, and then you're going to take the $50 from the $1 million fake money and just start replacing it. Start building your own chunk of money. And sometimes seeing things and feeling things and becoming emotional to something allows us to get to it or obtain it faster. Because if we just see a number, it doesn't have any representation of space. It's just a number. In our bank account, it sometimes doesn't mean the same. But when you can see a big old crate of $1 million, you realize that it's up to you to make that $1 million into $1 million. Kind of cool stuff. I'd want to do that too. I guess I could take a picture of my $1 million and send it to you, but that would be kind of foolish because it's my $1 million.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through Yellow Letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 2. What's the best stamp to use for mailers? Boy, is that a different question. The traditional American flag or a specialty seasonal one? The best stamp is the one the post office sells us. So from a direct mail company, we buy stamp rolls in the quantities of 10,000. So it's a big old fat roll. That's an expensive roll of stamps too, by the way. And they change them up on us. So a stamp is a stamp, and if you do any research on stamps, there is such a variety in the type of stamp you can buy. Just put a stamp on it, okay? It's a stamp. That should be the least of your issue or the least of your concern. The bigger issue is make sure you buy the stamp to put on the piece of mail, not what color the stamp is. Just go up there, spend the least amount of time to do that and get done with it and go buy a house. Don't concentrate on, well, the stamp will be talking to people who like baseball, so I'm going to put baseball stamps on my, whatever, okay? Seriously. Just put a stamp on a piece of mail, right? It doesn't have to say anything. It's a stamp. All right, and if you have some person who you think, will call you because you are like nurtured them through your stamp, you're crazy. All right, it doesn't work that way. If someone calls you because of the stamp that you put on your mail, you probably don't want to get to know that person. Seriously. All right. I understand that, during some holidays, yes, Mother's Day, it's cute to have a heart stamp and blah, 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 blah. But really, people, our job is to send mail out. Our job is to answer the phone. Our job is to go buy houses. Our job isn't to figure out what type of stamp to put on a piece of mail. Just put a stamp that qualifies to be mailed through the U.S. Postal Service. Question number 3. What do you do with returned undeliverable mail from your marketing campaigns? Well, if you're asking me what I do to it, I throw it away. Now, some people don't. And the only two pieces I would not necessarily throw away if I wasn't me, and that would be the ones that say deceased or abandoned or vacant. So if I get a postcard back and it's deceased or abandoned or vacant, then I may do some skip tracing and find the responsible parties to that property. If I just get the ones back that says no such address, not deliverable as addressed, which is a bunch of crap, because here's why it's a bunch of crap. I know that a percentage of my mail I'm going to get back. It just frustrates the you-know-what out of me. But here's the reason it frustrates me. The post office, the U.S. Postal Service, requires me to send my list through what they call the NCOA system, which is the mechanism for the post office to tell lists that Tom Jones, whose mailing address was 123 Apple Street, he put in a forwarding address and his mailing address is now 123 Orange Street. They give us back the information. They give us the address. They give us the city, the state, the zip code. They give us the barcode. They give us the zip code with the 4 extensions on it. They give us everything. So it's them telling us that this is the correct address. But yet, we're going to get some friggin' lazy, you-know-what, postal person who does not deliver it and puts a stamp on it that says no such address. Well, bull crap about no such address because the post office gave me the address in the first place. They confirmed the address in the first place. It just irritates me. I cannot become more irritated than to see the incompetency of people that we have to work within. And I tell you what, the incompetency of the U.S. Postal Service is huge. I actually had to call my congressman one day. Because, get this, guys and gals, this is crazy. Someone fired me up. You can tell, huh? we were out of stamps. Okay, now we buy these rolls at 10,000 stamps at a time, and do the math. That's like, they're expensive rolls. The Postal Service, you can only buy these stamps from certain postal services. So typically the main post office in your area. So we buy stamps from them almost every day, kind of thing. They won't stock enough that we can stock our own stamps. It's crazy how their policy works, but you can buy a couple rolls a day, kind of thing. We want to buy 10 rolls a day. Not going to happen. Anyway, we go down to the post office to go buy our couple rolls of stamps and go, oh, we're out. What do you mean you're out? What do you mean you're out? No, well, we're really not out. They're in the safe, but the person who has the combination to the safe is on vacation for 2 weeks. Oh, you want to talk about someone who freaked out? Oh, I just had a little like spasm in my heart when I heard that. I said it did not go over well, because I asked him this question. I said, so are you telling me that only a single person has the combination to the safe? She goes, yes, that's how we make sure who's responsible, and if there's anything lost, who's responsible for that loss. So you mean to tell me there's only one person that has a combination to the safe to get the stamps that you sell to the public? The only place that the public can buy a stamp is from you at this branch, but yet you let the person go on vacation without getting the combination to the safe? Because if somebody else had it, then you couldn't control the loss from theft? She goes, yep, that's our system. So how about the postmaster? Is the postmaster here? The postmaster comes out, and I said, I need stamps out of the safe. Apparently no one here has the combination to the safe. Do you have the combination to the safe? You know what the postmaster said to me? No, we only give it to the person who opens the safe. That way we can, and so steam was coming out of my ears. I looked like one of those cartoons you watch on a Saturday morning with your children. Steam was coming out of my ears. Oh, could not believe it. Because my customers, they just expect mail to go in the mail. They don't expect, let's face it, they don't expect the Postal Service not to allow anybody else to get stamps out of the friggin' safe except for the person who's on vacation. And, I would think, no, just me. I'm thinking, if you're requiring your consumer base to use a stamp, this person's going on vacation. That without that stamp, mail can't get mailed, and without the stamp, without me being able to buy the stamp, you don't get to collect the money. And that, what are you going to do? Your people aren't going to work as much because you're not allowing stamps to go in envelopes. Anyway, the postmaster come out, tells me this story. Steam coming out of my ears. He says, well, you can get it from another postal service. I said I could. Which one? He goes, the one in Santa Barbara has them. Now, I'm not in Santa Barbara. I'm not even close to Santa Barbara. That would be like me going to New York and saying, can I buy some stamps? Not going to happen. So after I got my congressman on the phone, the nice little U.S. Postal Service was able to have them, go figure, get this. Guess what they did? You want to guess? They mailed me the stamps the next day, overnight. So they had to mail me stamps at their cost, because I refused to pay the shipping fee. They mailed me stamps at their cost from Santa Barbara, because it's their policy not to have two people to be able to open the safe that have stamps in it where I was standing. And we wonder sometimes. Anyway, whoever asked me that question, thank you so much. I'm so glad I have high blood pressure now. Yeah, I'm going to gotta have a drink. Anyway, question number 4. I know that was a tangent. I apologize. Question number 4. If I bought my list from you, do we remove corporate entities? Well, great question. Typically, we wouldn't ask for corporate entities unless we wanted them, and we do want them on some lists. So on your absentee owner lists, you want corps and LLCs. But your owner-occs, you're not going to get those things. You don't want trusts on absentees, you want trusts, LLCs, and corps. On owner-occs, you want to not get corps or LLCs or trusts. So sometimes you'll want them, sometimes you don't. And for the longest time, I didn't go the corp route. But there was a big push about 8 years ago or so to put properties in LLCs and corps. And when those properties started maturing as far as having some equity base and a longevity for the seller to say, hey, I'm ready to sell from a longevity from an ownership perspective, then we kind of had to go there if we wanted to capture that audience. So yeah, we would just, if you didn't want corps, we wouldn't buy it with a corp. I think you're doing yourself a disservice on not utilizing the corps, LLCs, and trusts on absentee owned, but that's just my personal opinion. Question number 5, how do you find more motivated sellers? I'm in Austin. It feels impossible. Gosh, great question. The word more implies that you have some already. So I want to applaud you on that. And if you have some already, one of the things that we could work on as well is making sure that we take advantage not of the people that we have, but the opportunity that we have, so that our closing rate is as strong as it could be, so we can magnify those people that are calling us already. Now, how do we get more people to call us? It's a mathematical game. It's, money in, money out. So I always say it's, live less kind of thing, market more. So do less that cause you to have money to market more, because the marketing more will have a rollover about 93 days. And so you'll see, in a 3-month period that you should be able to get your money back to do it again, but you should be able to get more money back because you're at a 10-time multiplier or 12-time multiplier. Sometimes you're only at a 7-time multiplier. I read someplace the other day someone was at a 3-time multiplier. 3-time multiplier is pretty darn good if you think about it. If you're making $50,000 a house and it costs you $16,000 in marketing to make that $50,000, seems like it's a big budget for marketing for that. But let's face it, it's $34,000 after they pay for the marketing for it. That's still a pretty good chunk of money. So it's money in, money out. So how do you find more? If it's a lack of funds, so you can't spend money to find more, then you have to work your center of influence. You have to work that like a gorilla that you are. I mean, everybody should be pounding their chest every morning. Question number 1 is, how do you, best way to start the habit is just know you are that person. And so getting back to the question number 5 is, how do you find more? And if you're that person, finding more is going to find you. Like, more is going to be your best friend. It really is. Because what happens is we want to, but we don't want to bad enough. So we want to do more, but we don't want to bad enough. But if we wanted to bad enough, so we want to do more and we want it bad enough, it's like if our more is air. Like, if we don't get air, we're going to die. So if we looked at the word more like it was air for us, then what do? You meet and greet. You have cold greetings. You call contractors. You call realtors. You call lenders. You talk to people that are close to the industry. You talk to probate attorneys. You set some time. That's all you're doing is walking, talking, prospecting. All right, and maybe you say, well, I have a full-time job, Mike. I can't do that. I can't talk to people like that. Well, there's weekends and nights, people. All right, Home Depot doesn't close until like 9 o'clock at night. Get off at 5:30, 6 o'clock, show up at Home Depot, start passing out some business cards, start talking to those contractors that are coming in at house, start talking to those homeowners that are going into that building to buy parts for their house that's broken, and start going up to them and say, hey, so you have a house, you're repairing a house, do you ever think about selling it? Okay, maybe Home Depot won't like you soliciting inside their business, but who knows? Maybe be okay. Ask permission. If you get permission, be okay then. But there's Home Depots, there's Lowe's, there's True Values, there's all kinds of stuff. And so that more, if you want to do more, then put yourself where those prospects could be. So, make that appointment on a weekend with the probate attorney, meet those folks. Make that appointment with the bankruptcy attorney, see those folks, and ask them what they do and how they can benefit you, and vice versa kind of stuff. Tell all your friends, everybody, even the ones that you don't think are friends. Even those people that You only recognize and know of them, but you don't know them. Get them to know that you buy houses. Get a t-shirt, buy a polo shirt that says I buy houses. Always be prepared. Tag your vehicle if it's inappropriate. Now, I'm not going to tag my Bentley that says I buy houses, but I've had some coaching students tag their vehicles. They look really sharp. They say I buy houses on them. Don't hide the fact that what you do is what you do, but tell. So if the more is like air, or oxygen to you, then you'll do it. You'll find a way. If you don't have the money, if you have the money, increase your budget. Now, don't increase your budget so much that you're not able to capture all the opportunity and fulfill all the opportunity. But my goodness, if that's the problem, get in the coaching program. So let's teach you how to fulfill that correctly, and how to capture that correctly. But man, just do it. This was a fun one. I hope you guys this all made sense. Sorry we had to talk about the U.S. Postal Service and their lack of systemization, but we did. And if that's government, my goodness. Until next time, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for letting me do this. I really do appreciate the opportunity to help those that I'm helping. And one last thing. Jump on iTunes and give me some more referrals or rankings or ratings or whatever they call them over there. I'd really appreciate that. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.